Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Becca and today we're going to be doing a little chit chat about prep and aftercare with your lash extension client. So I'm all comfy, I got some coffee, got a little breakfast over here, so I'm just going to have this as like a chill video. We're in a different environment just because my setup is currently packed up. I am moving, so I wanted to just do some quick videos before the move. It's really cold outside and cold in here actually, so I have my nice fluffy sweater on. I am drinking iced coffee. No matter what season it is, it's always going to be iced coffee. So this is it's a medium iced latte with brown sugar, cinnamon syrup, almond milk, and cold foam, or sweet cream cold foam, whatever that is. But this is one of my go-tos at one of my local coffee shops and it's actually really good. Brown sugar cinnamon is a great combo. I've been getting this for a really long time and so I wanted to kind of just do a little coffee talk with you guys. I have my iPad in front of me and this is going to go over some notes with lash prep and aftercare with clients. Put my coffee away because I'm going to hear the ice clinking, but I'm gonna have my iPad in front of me and I wanted to go over some pretty common questions in regards to how to prep for your client and any aftercare. So I've been doing lash extensions for quite a while and I found a few different tactics to begin the service that I will always tell every client because it just works for me and works for, you know, the situation and things like that. So I wanted to kind of go over that first and then over the common aftercare. If you are a lash extension person yourself, you're getting them done, this is a great video to kind of understand the reasoning behind everything. But if you are a lash artist yourself, you can kind of pick up on those things and see if that's something you want to bring into your own services. Before I begin and say everything, I always like to send out a reminder email, reminder text going over the prep for the appointment. Or if you're using a service that sends out a reminder text or reminder email, whatever, you can also put that in there so that it automatically sends for you. I personally, right now, I just send out the information, but before when I did use a service, it would send that information out for me, or when they're even booking the service, it says exactly what steps you need to do to prepare for the appointment. So it's kind of up to you, whatever you prefer. I feel like if I was doing the service, like the automation, I would like that, then I wouldn't have to like message everyone, but because I'm moving and everything, I just do everything more like manual. So it's up to you, whatever you want to do, but I just find automation's a little easier, then it's one less thing to worry about. Unless you're just, you know, sometimes if you do like an Instagram or a Facebook or something, I like the Instagram because it puts the highlights on it. So a lot of bookings are through Instagram. So what I'll do is I will have like a highlight that says prep or aftercare, whatever you want to do, have it as the main thing so when people click on it, they know exactly what to expect before their appointment. First things first is to remove your contacts. So with removing contacts, you want to make sure that they have them out so that their eyes are kind of free of everything. So when you're doing lash extensions, there's specific type of fumes. I'll say fumes. It's not like a bad term in this sense, but there are these fumes that the lash glue gives off. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure that it doesn't get trapped underneath the contact lens itself. So when you are having a client that normally wears contacts, you want to have them take it out. As a lash tech, what you could do is buy those little disposable cups or disposable contact lens case with some contact lens solution. If you want to go above and beyond for your client, I know a lot of people are like, no, like I'm not even going to worry about it. I do have clients that know the risks and they know what can happen if they do wear contacts and they don't care. So I personally would suggest reminding them to do that, but you know, if they don't want to do it, then that's like, you know, their prerogative. They sign a waiver, they know exactly what's going to happen. But you can also add in that extra step of getting the contact solution and getting like a little case or like just a little like disposable cup, whatever you want to do, just so they have that. But it's kind of up to you, but I make sure to let my clients know to remove contact lenses beforehand and then bring their glasses so that they can see, obviously. The next thing is to bring comfy clothes. Like as you can see, I'm wearing like a sweater. I'm nice and comfy. I don't have to worry about like feeling too tight or like I'm, you know, wearing professional clothes, stuff like that. So you're gonna be with them for 1 to 3 hours, depending if it's a fill or a full set. So you wanna make sure you're comfortable. You're not like needing to pull on anything or like you're not like covered enough. The reason why is I also tell them to bring a blanket if they want. I personally like having a blanket as like a security blanket, like always having it on me, but you totally don't have to offer that. Or if you like to have them have a blanket, you want to have a blanket for them, that's totally fine. Or I usually tell them to bring their own. Another thing I tell my clients is to bring headphones. I personally like to listen to music myself, so I will have a Spotify playlist. It's like a lashing playlist that I have already preset, and I will listen to that all day, like all day long. It's like so I like to listen to like slow R&B, like slow hip hop, stuff like that, because it is also very it's like calming in a way, but it's like trending songs or like catchy songs, but like not where it's like in your face, like raging or like upbeat, all that, because like they're here for a service, they're trying to lay down and relax, and I want to have something more like Janae Aiko, SZA, like Summer Walker, like stuff like that kind of music. That's kind of the vibe during my lash session. It is up to them. A lot of people like to listen to podcasts, listen to their own music, so that's a great way for them to kind of feel relaxed in their own setting. When it comes to music and everything, for the most part, what I like to do is I'll listen to music. As a lash artist, I will do the most minimal talking because I'm focused on their service. I want to get it done. I want to get, not in a fast way, but like when you're talking, like you're using your hands, like here I'm like using my hands, but you're using your hands, you're getting distracted, and the service lasts a lot longer. I let them know, hey, this is like if they are gonna talk, like, and I'm obviously gonna talk back, but like if there's ever moments, I'll have a lot of clients where like we're having a good conversation, catching up at the first half, and the second half is completely quiet because they're either relaxed or falling asleep, or I'm just like in the zone. Another thing is to tell your clients to use the bathroom beforehand. What I will do is before every service, no matter what, I ask them if they need to use the bathroom beforehand, because I don't want to have them get up 2-3 times throughout the appointment. I understand maybe once, that's great, you get it all out maybe halfway through, but then if it's like an ongoing thing, you just want to make sure like, hey, like I'm almost done, like, and then we can do this, because when the client gets up, you have to check everything, dry everything, take it off, and they go to the bathroom. Then you have to redo everything with the mapping and taping and everything. So just make sure to let them know to use it beforehand. Avoid liquids maybe like an hour before. You can let them know that, or just me as a lash artist to client telling them like just no liquids an hour beforehand, just so that we don't have any accidents. But definitely let them know to use it beforehand, and then they can use it right after. Just let them know too how long the service is. If it's a fill appointment, be like, okay, it's going to be an hour and a half. If you need to use it now, that's great. And then a lot of the times people are like, oh, I have to use the bathroom. I'm like, okay, well, I have 10 minutes left on this set. You think you can hold it? If not, like, I'll let them go. So obviously if they have to go, they have to go. I'm not going to force them to like stay there, but just letting them know to avoid liquids an hour before, and to use the bathroom beforehand. If they have to use your bathroom, if they have to use the bathroom at home, whatever you need to do. But just having that avoids extra time added when you have to retape them and remap them. Speaking on the liquids, no coffee beforehand. Coffee or caffeine in general is like the main thing because it causes your eyelids to flutter. When you have a lot of caffeine, like you're jittery and stuff, and like this is not for everyone. I've had people come in, they have had coffee beforehand, but like for the most part, like your hands are jittering, like you're just jittery, and so then your eyelashes start to flutter, and then it makes it really hard to do eyelash extensions when your eyelids are moving. And a trick you can do with that is using a clean penny. Make sure it's clean and sanitized, and then you put it on their eye, tape it down, and then that cool sensation and just the pressure allows them to close their eyes and not flutter. So it's up to you. Just make sure you let them know no coffee or caffeine prior to that, or at least like an hour before, or just in general, like have them drink it afterwards or whatever you do, but make sure you as a lash artist also have a clean penny or a clean whatever. I think some people use maybe like a jade stone, like a really small jade stone, but I personally haven't used a penny, but that is a trick that you do to kind of help it so it's not fluttering as much. You want to also make sure to let them know not to have any mascara or makeup around the eyes. I've had clients where they have mascara on and it takes significantly longer to remove that makeup. So when you come for a lash appointment, like, you have to have clean lashes. Let the client know to go through their eyelashes and make sure that there's no residue. If they have to clean in between the eyelashes, I think that's the one thing that I've seen is they're like, oh, I took off my makeup and everything beforehand, but they still have mascara on the root and the base of their lashes, and you have to sit there and clean it. You can't apply lash extensions to dirty lashes, and so just making sure to get that off and very clean. I do a lash bath anyway, but even that can't remove makeup as well. So if, let's say, they do come in with makeup, I go in with makeup remover first, and then I'll go and do a lash bath. I had a client that would come in with makeup, and she said that she would take it off. She literally took it off, but it wasn't like as clean. So I had to make sure to let her know, like, to come in without mascara. And then I always took a little extra time to take off her makeup. And at that point, if it's a reoccurring thing, you can let them know, hey, this is an extra like $10 to do makeup remover because I have to spend extra time taking your makeup off your eyes. So you want to make sure that they don't have anything around the eyes, because you as a lash artist are not able to do any lash extensions on dirty eyelashes. That's very unsanitary, especially because they can't wash their lashes for 28 to 48 hours, depending on your glue and everything. And that's just gonna be sitting on their eyes, and bacteria can form and everything. So just to make sure that they're on clean eyelashes and that you are letting them know beforehand. So that was all the prep for lash clients. I'm gonna do a little coffee break because this is so good and we're almost done. So for aftercare, there are a lot of things, and a lot of people don't know why there are a lot of things on there. And I figured I would go over that and then also go into kind of why we do that. So the first aftercare is don't get them wet for 24 to 48 hours after. I kind of talked about that and like what like a sweet spot is 24 hours for me, but you totally can do it, however you want it. Well, I also let them know that in the prep, because a lot of times people will take a shower the day of or the night before. If you're gonna take a shower afterwards, I recommend avoiding your face. Don't have super hot water, because I'm going to go into that, but don't do super hot water where it's steaming in the bathroom. You want to take the shower, you can wear goggles. Some people wear goggles. Sometimes you can do that like the little sticky thing that you put on your forehead and it makes like a little visor. Whatever you want, but I always recommend just taking a shower the morning of or the night before, and then just avoiding your face in general that night. Just because you want to make sure that your lashes are cured and ready to go. But that's up to you if you want to wait the 2 days. If you as a lash artist want to wait the 2 days and tell them 2 days, or if you want to do a lash bath right prior to it, or 24 hours. 24 hours is like the sweet spot, so I always tell my clients 24 hours after. So you want to avoid waterproof mascara. Waterproof mascara is really hard to get off. Just in general, kind of goes into the other one, is not wearing oil-based makeup or skincare, and as well as the waterproof mascara. You want to make sure that if you're going to do skincare or makeup or mascara, that it's water-based and not oil-based, or the waterproof mascara. Waterproof, you have to use oil to dissolve it, which is also what we're trying to avoid. And then anything I particularly always say oil is what you want to avoid, but even glycerin sometimes can make the lash bond weaken, and so that is totally up to you if you feel like the glycerin part, if it works for you, whatever. But typically it's just the oil. The oil you want to completely not even have that in, because it's going to break down the lash glue bond. And because we use an oil anyway to remove the eyelash extensions, like, it's gonna come off, you know. Be sure that if you're going to put any skincare around your eyes, that it's not oil based. If it's like below, like down here, I understand. But even when you have it like just like right here, sometimes with skincare it can travel. And like especially like, I don't know, like just like a moisturizer or everything, you're kind of like avoiding that area. But when you're sleeping or just when it's like blended in and it can travel and go up, when you're closing your eyes, you also too, it can get close to your eyelids and everything. So you just want to make sure that you're avoiding any oil-based makeup in that area. Oil-based makeup, skincare, anything that you're going to put on your face is not going to be good for that. And also too, if you're oilier skin, like if you have an oily skin type or you go swimming, you want to make sure to do a lash bath twice a day versus one time a day. I was going to go into that about the washing your lashes daily. So regardless, you want to make sure that you are washing your eyelashes daily with a lash bath without oil in it, and really getting into the eyelashes, making sure there's no buildup or any extra oils, bacteria, whatever it is. But if you're an oilier skin type, you have gone swimming, you're in salt water, you're crying, anything like that, you want to make sure you're washing it twice a day, just because you want to make sure you get all that gunk out of there. Oil-based, of course, there's going to be extra oils on your lashes, so making sure that's out. With chlorine and salt water and crying, like all the extra chemicals or like the salt and stuff, they're going to stay on your eyelashes. You're going to make sure you get that out. And so having that extra step is really going to help with the retention of how long your eyelashes are going to stay. Also want to avoid picking and pulling your eyelashes. With that, you're going to pull out your natural lashes too. And I'm really bad about this. I will sit there and like rub them into my fingers and stuff, and just like, it's just a texture thing. I don't know why I do it, but this is why I don't get eyelash extensions. That's why my eyelashes are super baby right now. But you risk it being pulled out, and you're gonna pull out your natural lashes. When you're pulling it out, you're grabbing it by the root, so that might not grow back as strong or as much. You might just have a less volume of natural eyelashes because you're always pulling them out by the root. Any hairs, even on your body or anything, the more you pull out the root, the less it's gonna grow. So stuff like that, you want to make sure you're very gentle with your eyelashes. It is a luxury. You spend all this money on it, and so you want to make sure you're actually taking care of it. As well as if you're going to get them removed, if you want to remove them yourself, I personally would not recommend removing them yourself. I would have them get professionally removed. Doing them yourself, a lot of times there are clients, like let's say I'm on a vacation and I am not available to get the lashes taken out, or they just, they just don't want them anymore. And because I do charge for removal, they're just like, I don't want to do it. I just want to get it done myself. You do use oil to remove them yourself, but when you do that, it's not formulated for eyelash extensions. So you'll get it in your eyes and it'll start burning, or it's going to take significantly longer to remove them. I had someone use like coconut oil to remove them, and it takes so much longer to get rid of them. Oil itself is not really going to completely like disintegrate them off your eyes. There's a combination, an oil, a cream remover, like a gel remover for lash extensions, that it takes it off in like 5-10 minutes. So you want to make sure you get them professionally done. When you're doing it yourself, you're pulling out your natural lashes. Anything like that, you want to make sure you're getting professionally removed. You want to make sure you're you're not sacrificing the integrity of your eyelashes in the process. Eyelash extensions themselves are not damaging. If you remove them or you have someone incorrectly place them on there, that's when, you know, your lashes start to, you know, get thin or damaged and stuff like that. So you want to make sure that anything along this process is professionally removed and you're not damaging your actual lashes in the process. Another thing is sleeping on your face or your sides. You want to make sure you're sleeping on your back or just laying on your back, because when you're moving and you're sleeping on the side or on your face, the friction from the pillow can really loosen the lashes, or you're like smooshing them and they pop off. So you want to make sure that you are really taking care of your lashes. If you are gonna sleep on your sides or your face, they do sell these, like, they're like the little eye covers that you sleep with, but it's like cupped. Someone said it's like a bra for your face, because it's like a little, they're like cups, and so that you can have it and it's protected, but you can still sleep on your sides or your face or whatever. I personally have not tried that, so I don't know, but I want to make sure that you are taking care of your eyelashes. When you're sleeping, you're moving around. You are knocked out. You have no idea what you're doing when you're sleeping, so you just want to make sure you're careful about that. Sleeping on your back, if you need to sleep on your back with 2 pillows on each side, that's what you gotta do. Just making sure you're taking care of your eyelashes, and if that's something you invest in is like little eye cups for your face, then that's something you might have to do. I mentioned washing lashes daily. I'm kind of gonna piggyback off of that a little bit, is that you want to wash it daily, not just for the makeup and the oils, but also because of the skin buildup. You wouldn't even know, like, if you're not washing your eyelashes. I have picked off crust off of people's eyelashes because they don't wash their eyelashes daily. I had people tell me that their lash artist said not to wash their lashes, and I was like, that's gross, because I have had many clients where they are like, oh yeah, like, my lashes are not dirty, like, they're fine, like, I didn't wear makeup that day, so I'm good. No, you need to wash your eyelashes, because the amount of crust and dead skin that can collect is a lot. And the thing is that if it's crusted and it can collect, bacteria can breed. So you want to make sure that you are very clean about that. And you as a lash artist, also as a client, you need to tell your clients to wash them daily and not do them every day, because that is gross. I'm just gonna be honest, because that's just a collection of dead skin cells. They are crusted over your eyelashes, in between the eyelashes. You also just want to make sure you're clean and sanitary, just for your own personal reasons. If you let that collect and stuff, you can get an eye infection and like other things like that. So you just want to make sure you're good. So it's not only just the lash artist, it is also the client's aftercare as well. So making sure you have good communication and letting them know, like, you know, you gotta wash them every day. You want to make sure as aftercare is to schedule your clients every 2 to 3 weeks for a fill. So I personally do 40%. If you have 40% of your lashes, that would be a fill price. If it's anything less than that, it is a full set. And some people will charge per percentage. So 40 is my standard. Some people do 50%. And then some people do it by weeks. So a 1 week fill, as much as I can fill within that 1 week time, 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, whatever it is. Or they do it by the amount of time they do to fill your lashes. So I personally do the percentage. I did go somewhere where they charged by weeks. So no matter if it's 40, 60, 70, 30%, they fill. Let's say their 1 week fill is 45 minutes. So as much as they can fill in within 45 minutes, which is, I don't know, it could be depending, because I personally, when you come in for a fill, it is an hour and a half. So regardless is if it's a 40%, 50, 60, 30, whatever it is, I will always do an hour and a half. If you have more than that, let's say you're less than 40% or you're barely hanging on, and you are adamant about having a fill, I will fill as much as I can within an hour and a half, because for my full sets, they range from 2 to 2.5, 2:15 for a full set. And you can do a lot within 30 minutes. So if they are adamant, just let them know, hey, this is the price, this is what it is, the price, and that means I'm not gonna have much time on it, so it might not be as full if you were coming in with like a lower. But what I always do is I let my client know, hey, if you don't know what percentage you are, text me a picture, because then I can kind of see, hey, this is, you need to come in for a fill, or no, this is a full set. So that's why that way they know. Or I make sure to look at their lashes at the beginning of the set before I even put tape down, and I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be a full set, because you as a client may think it's a fill. But when we sit down and look at your lashes, take off all the outgrown ones, and there's barely anything left, that is a full set. So you as a client also have to know that you have outgrown lashes. You have ones that are like twisted now because it's like so outgrown, and we need to remove them, clean them, all that stuff, and then we have to apply lashes. So you just want to make sure that you are letting them know, hey, this is what my eyelashes look like. What do you think? Also, anything past 3 weeks, like 4 week, 5 week, 6 week, that is a full set regardless, because your lashes, depending on this, like they all grow at different rates, but your lash extensions are, like your lashes at 4 weeks are definitely all grown out. And you know, I did have someone come in at 4 weeks and it wasn't as bad. So you can kind of look at that and be like, okay, this is fine. This is a fill. I understand. But usually they're all grown out by that point, and they need to come in every few weeks. I say every 2 weeks, so that you have it always full, always fluffy, and just filled all the way, and it's like a full set every 2 weeks, versus you coming in once a month and then you're hanging on a thread on like one of these lashes, and then you're always teetering on like, oh, is it a fill or is it a full set? I personally say every 2 weeks. If you can stretch to 3 weeks, that's great. A lot of it is me, but a lot of it is also you as a client. So you also want to make sure you're telling your clients or stuff like that about scheduling beforehand. I personally like to just schedule beforehand so that they know and I know when to expect, as well as if your books are filling up pretty quickly, you want to make sure that they are secured in a spot. And then just making sure you're good to go and they are aware of everything. So that is everything with the prep and the aftercare of lash extensions. Those are kind of like my tried and true prep and aftercare tips and advice for my clients. You also want to make sure you're having an open conversation. If they ask you why you do these certain things, you want to make sure you know as well, but then you're being honest with them. Like let's say like you actually prefer having it done every 48 hours is with getting them wet and everything, but they don't know why. Like, just explain to them like, this is what's going on, it needs to cure, I want to make sure it's set. If you are the type of lash client that's like, no, you can go ahead and get them wet, whatever you need to do, let them know why. Like, I put a bonder on, I nano mist, whatever you did, you just want to make sure you're explaining to them and educating them. They are learning too. And you know, every lash artist is different in what they preach and what advice they give. So at least like if you're going to have a conversation with someone that went to another lash artist, you can be like, that's how they did things and it hasn't necessarily worked for you or hasn't worked for me. This is how I do things, and just explain to them and why it's important. I always say never to bash another lash tech. They have their reasoning. If they are fully licensed and certified, they know what they're doing. they just may have gone in a different direction, and that's what worked with them, because I use a very different lash glue, lash supplies, like lashes themselves, than the next lash artist. So you want to make sure that you are working with your equipment and your supplies, but also taking consideration what you learned as a lash tech in classes. So just having that, and then making sure you are educating clients. I always say being very transparent with them is the best way to go. So you just want to make sure that you're building that relationship, and you're going to be lifelong friends with them. You're seeing them every 2 to 3 weeks, so you're definitely going to build something there. I am very close with all of my clients, and we always go deep, and we always talk, have little therapy sessions. So I definitely would recommend having that open conversation with them in anything that you plan to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.